Hi, everybody. Good morning. My name is Margaret Pinard. Thanks for stopping by my channel. You're on BookTube. And I'm hoping my computer is okay. I quit the other application that was open, but there are a lot of Chrome tabs open. It is huffing and puffing like a steam train, even though I restarted it to try to give it a breath of a fresh air. So bear with me if you hear wheezing noises. It's not me, it's the computer. Oy, oy, oy. So, what are we here to do today? We've got some sprints. So, welcome y'all for coming. I had Jenna say hello. I loved this aesthetic, as the kids say. Sitting in my car, listening to the rain with coffee, and leaving a hello for the like button with some happy sprinting vibes for all. Now for more chores. Jenna is getting to all the things this weekend, so we'll miss her on Saturday. But thanks so much for stopping by. Shannon, who I'm following, just stopped by as well. Okay, I've used that phrase 3 times already, so we're going to not use it again. Hello, everyone. Hello, Shannon. Running to right, Ben's here. Hello, everyone. I hope you all are having a great Friday. And Shannon says she had the links for your videos to drop in the chat and totally forgot. No worries. I thought about it and I was like, it's okay. Everyone there knows me. They'll come if they still have time and want to do stuff. So no big deal. Ben says Chrome is a tank for absorbing CPU. Yeah. And I have like 4 windows open with probably like 5 or 6 tabs each. I don't know. Does that expand the amount of CPU usage? Shannon is reading Richard Holiday's Nightmare Tenant. Sweet. Do we know? Yeah, anyway. Very cool. Yeah, let's start out with that. Let's give a few minutes for people to filter in and tell me what they're going to be reading. Nathan says, hello again. You're in data entry. It's springtime. So is this late data entry or early data entry? Probably late because summer is when you're out observing bees. Cool Gamer is here. Hello, hello. Just tell me what you're reading. I have so many choices. I just saw someone, who was it that posted on Instagram? What type of reader are you? I think it was Talia Hibbert's post, and she had a cute little graphic. And there were 2 that I qualified for. One was called The Physical Book Loyalist, and I was like, yes, it me. But also The Polygamist, because I'm reading The Octopus. I'm like past halfway with Barrett Laurie Extraordinaire, and it's speeding towards tragedy. And so I don't know. The second book in the series has me giving this one side eye because I don't know what to expect, but very exciting. I'm also reading Tell My Horse by Zora Neale Hurston. Fabulous. The first 4 short essays were like anthropology based in Jamaica and the West Indies. And then the second section is starting off with one that is very political. It's the political section. It's called Rebirth of a Nation. So very interesting stuff. I am still at the beginning of the buddy read with Beth Ann and Shannon, Not Without Laughter by Langston Hughes. And this is interesting as well. It starts out with a tornado, but continues on with some really great dialogue and writing. And I love the marbles scene. I had not thought that you could make marbles out of mud if you dry them. But like, that's so cool. So that's going to be my answer to the question later on. You have to wait and see. And I've also got The Woman Warrior by Maxine Hong Kingston, which I'm doing for the Asian Readathon, buddy reading with Sina of Beating Around the Books, who may be in the chat later. So I'm on the 3rd story for that one. This is what I mean by polygamist reader. And, I haven't started that one, so I guess I can't claim having read it. But that's 4. I mean, that's good, right? Let's see. Oh, goodness. Let's see. Shanna's saying hello to everybody. Beth Ann's saying cleaning up data from 2 years ago. Embarrassment. Hey, at least you're doing it. I mean, someone set herself a schedule for doing the cleanup of photos, and Yeah, they just never stop coming in. So I'm still not under from that mountain of cleanup. So be embarrassed together. Ben says he's reading Shannon's Tears of the Marigold. Oh, he's got an early copy because that comes out on June. I'm going to say 1st, and I'm going to be wrong. Am I right? Is it June 1st? Now I'm doubting myself. Katie Reads and Rants is here. Hello, hello. Not reading anything right now because the slump is real. Oh boy. Oh boy. Well, I think you just had a big event, like a graduation maybe. So maybe your reward to yourself is something different than reading. Maybe it's, I don't know, Friday morning. What's a good Friday morning reward for someone who just graduated, folks? Jen says, I hadn't thought of the marbles either. Yeah. Ben says, that is making me nervous just hearing how many books you're reading simultaneously. No, who else was I talking to? This is like a month ago, so this is definitely off of my ready access memory. But someone was showing how in the morning they read a bit of a book and put it down, and read the next bit of a book and put it down, and they like cycle through all the books that they're reading, but are in different categories. And I said, I feel so seen. That's totally what I do sometimes. I consistency is not my strong point. I don't know if you guys have caught on to this. Okay, I was wrong. It's June 6th. That's the other date that was in my head. But June 1st is in my head because Jenna mentioned it. So maybe that's when Jenna's book is coming out. And there's more things. Yeah, there we go. June 1st is Jenna's next novel. Thank you. Thank you for my fact checker, Shannon. Yeah, yay. All the new books. Ugh, I'm jealous. All the new books. Like and D, hello. Currently reading Final Girls by Riley Sager because I'm in a horror thriller mood. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. So, yeah, put whatever you're reading in. We've got some fine contenders of Friends books. I'm featuring 3 books for May of the Moderns and 1 for the Asian Readathon. You can also be not reading. You can also be writing, folding laundry, doing chores, whatever you'd like to do. But let's get started with the first sprint. Let me change the banner. I looked back at a sprint and saw that it had listed in my description, or below my description, the music that I had used, that I had streamed from someone else's channel that was like ambient music. And I was like, uh-oh, does that mean I'm not using their license? It didn't ding me, like it didn't say violation, but it listed it under there. So now I'm wondering like how the rights work, because that channel got rights to use Lord of the Rings music, but I didn't. So like, is it okay on YouTube because they did it? If anyone knows the intricacies of the legalities, well, let me know because I'm curious. And let's start at 10 after, just to start with a round number. Let's do, what, 20 or 25? I don't want to do a poll. Let's do 20 to start out. I'm being influenced by Shannon's Pyramid Wars. What? Productivity Pyramid Wars. Yeah. All right, so let's put that up there and then put up our question below, which is going to be any disappointments or DNFs yet? So I had one, and you will find out after the sprint. It happened to me when I forgot to shut up the sound on someone's timer. Well, I'm going to just do since Shannon's in the chat, I'm not going to play music for the first sprint. But we'll see what to do after, because maybe for the second or third, I will play music. Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to start off with the octopus. Okay, this is why I should stretch before anything. I'm also going to start out with a cup of tea, which is waiting for me over there. And with that, happy sprinting. Let me know your answer to the question in the comments, and I'll go back to coming attractions and all that jazz after our first sprint. But happy reading. See you in 20. Oof, yeah. We're back. It is 30 minutes past the hour, wherever you are, unless you're in India. I don't know if anywhere else has that different time zone. Welcome back from the first sprint. Let's catch up on the chat. Let me know how you did, what you did. Oh, God, morning face. Well, that's all right. I'm being relatable, right? Okay, Shannon answered. Disappointments DNFs, Witch's Reign by Shannon Mayer. One of my newsletter subscribers recommended it to me, but I can't get into it. Not sure why, although there's a lot of cussing. Not the sole reason. Fair enough. Jenna made it into the house in time. Oh, that's right, because Jenna said bad T-storm, and I advised her to stay in the car if it had tires, which is just me being funny. Jenna said, and now the bathroom ceiling is leaking. Gosh, can't catch a break, Jenna. Fox River Bushcraft entered the chat. Hello, everyone from outdoorsman Fox River Bushcraft, self-taught survivalist on YouTube. That's a pretty good ad. Welcome, welcome. Lycan says, I had to DNF my current sci-fi book club read, Foundation by Isaac Asimov. I think that's one of like his most classic, right? Bored me intensely. Just so much conversation and pointless arguments between a bunch of wealthy dudes. I hear that. Yeah. Fox River says, hello, host. Nice to meet you. My name's Margaret. Emmy North is in the chat. Hello, Emmy. Excuse me. Jenna says, I don't normally DNF books, but then again, they sit on my TBR list for a long time sometimes, so I feel bad. Yeah, I bet Jenna would appreciate those memes. I just saw, I think it was a picture of a Kardashian, I don't know which one, on the red carpet getting photographed. And the figure was called, I don't know, new Netflix series binging. And then in the side of the frame, there was a head poking around the wall that has the background for the photographers. And it was like my TBR. It made me laugh. Nick C, hello. He says, one day I won't be late. Lol. Given up on the idea altogether at this point. Wait, what idea? Being on time or reading? I don't know. Lauren Adele dropping by to say hello and like the stream. Thank you, Lauren. And Jenna says, why, hello, sappy Scottish vampire king. About time you show up in my day. Nice. There you go. And it's 12:30, so hey, ripe time for editing. Good job. So how did I do? I read 14 pages in The Octopus. How'd y'all do? You might have seen me laugh at a part. I actually laughed out loud. I chuckled at one of the dialogue things. And then the next page, they used a phrase that was questionably borderline racist. So, you know, it's an interesting read. Product of its time. Shannon got 21 pages read. Yay. Oh, catch up here. Nick C says, I won't lie, you scared the poop out of me because I was looking at my feedback for my finals and forgot the stream was going. Well, I tried to unmute and like type for a little bit so it would be gentle noise before I like quietly, not silently. I can't silently talk. Yeah, I do try. Ben says, still on the clock, so just reading a bunch of code. Yeah, that's doing well. Jan saying hello. A Smith saying hello. Welcome to the sprints. Hello. Nick's given up on being on time. Gotcha. Mr. Landis in the chat. Hello, everyone. Shannon's advice is to silently whisper next time. Nice. You guys are funny. You're funny. All right, so let's take down the DNF question before we launch into the next one. I'm going to give my little song and dance about coming attractions. But I got to stretch first. Stretch and hydrate, right? And pop all your joints if you're as old as I. Holy moly. Okay. So let me grab the link here. I've got a sprint tomorrow. So Saturday sprints, same as Friday, 9 to 11. I'll have different questions because that's like the fun part. I've cooked up questions to, I don't know, entertain, hopefully. So that is Saturday's sprint for tomorrow. Then Sunday, yeah, I didn't realize this. Math is not my strong suit. But my regular stream time on Sunday added to sprints on Friday and Saturday means that I'm online 3 days in a row for a lot of time. So Sunday's interview is very exciting, though. I was working on it during Shannon's sprints earlier this morning. I'm going to be having as a guest Roz from Scally Dandling About the Books. Nope, I had a typo. And another typo. So there is the link for that. If you don't know, these sprints are for May of the Moderns, which is a readathon I run during May. Each Sunday in May, I'm doing one of the 5 prompts because we have 5 Sundays in May. And this one is going to be the 4th prompt, End of Empire. And I've got my questions out to Roz, and I've got the event up, so feel free to tap the notification if you want to watch that one in particular. It's going to be at 11 a.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. British summer time, I think. Not Greenwich Mean Time, but British summer time. I love the time zones. And Roz will be on to talk about Empire, which will be great because I'm an American with an American imperial viewpoint, and she's a Brit with a British Empire viewpoint. So I'm excited to get into some of that and how it plays out in the literature. So tune in 11 a.m. Pacific on Sunday for that. Oh, Mia at Vixen of Fiction. I don't want to say stopped in. Entering the chat. Hello, hello. Mia says, I'm very late on the phone with mom. Excellent. So I've got the Saturday sprint in here and Sunday's interview with Roz of Scally Dandling About the Books. And I think it's interesting. Maggie, from Mama Maggie, from Penumbra Mine MM Ward, is Maggie with 1 G, because she's Magdalena instead of Margaret, which goes with Maggie and 2 Gs. I guess that's the rule. I didn't know. Shannon is 1 N, Shannon, which is different. And Roz is Roz, but which Roz does it shorten from? It's Rosamond, not Rosalind. I know Rosalind's, and this is a Rosamund, which is a neat, different name you don't hear every day. So I just thought I don't know, random fact. And Shannon says, in what month will you next do a readathon? Ugh. So I did one in February. I'm doing one in May. And I think the next one I'm participating in is October because it's Victober. But I don't think I'm going to run another one during this year. This is enough. Thank you. But yeah. What am I going to do next? Oh, am I going to read next? Do I switch up the book? Do I finish the chapter? Let's see, how much is there? These chapters are long in the Octopus, so let's see. Let's plan ahead. Speaking of planning, if you guys follow, it's a long one, 334. It's another 13 pages to finish the chapter. Okay, that's enough of a pause. If you follow Liesel Sandbury, she just did a video where she talked about making her revision plans, and the first week was making the plans. And I thought she was doing all the revisions in a week, and I was like, what? And then I realized what she meant, and I was like, wow, that is meticulous. And that made me realize that maybe instead of just going through all the comments ever that I put in my novella, maybe I should make a plan about it, because normally I do plans, but for some reason I'm just throwing myself, ejecting myself into this because I'm out of practice. So good food for thought from Liesel. So I definitely appreciated that video. Nick says, my professor just lifted up my mood about my finals and the edits I had to do for last week before submitting. Straight up said, I don't have any issues with this outline. Thank you, sir. Excellent. Way to go, Nick. Shannon says, okay, I was trying to plan ahead. Oh, for the readathons? Yeah, I don't think I'm running another one. This is enough. We got enough stuff to focus on. Because after May, What is there in June that I had noted? I don't know, but there's the Authortube writing conference in July. So that's going to take up a lot of brain space. July 15th to 17th, live on YouTube. Congratulations to Nick. Thank you. Wasn't ready for that. I was expecting a sea of comments and corrections. Yeah. Well, pleasantly surprised. All right. Let me fiddle with my timer and my questions here. Let's start at 45. Let's do 25 this time. So 15 to 10. So get ready for that. Pop up, preview the second question. So what is the best historical detail you've found? So if you're reading books written or published in 1901 to 1945, there's random stuff. Okay. There's random stuff that's historical detail, even if it's not historical fiction, right? So I was just reading in The Octopus. This is one of the paragraphs, just to give you a sense of Frank Marissa's writing in this book, which is so unnecessary, but he goes into so much detail. Annixter was so boyishly proud of the effect that it would have been unkind to undeceive him. Presley looked at the marvelous department store bed of brass with its brave, gay canopy, the mill-made washstand with its pitcher and bowl of blinding red and green china, the straw-framed lithographs of symbolic female figures against the multicolored new wallpaper, the inadequate spindle chairs of white and gold, the sphere of tissue paper hanging from the gas fixture. That sounds unsafe. And the plumes of pampas grass tacked to the wall at artistic angles and overhanging two astonishing oil paintings in dazzling golden frames. Did we need to know exactly how that room was decorated? Oh my God, no. But interesting historical detail. This is why you dive into this stuff. And hey, get a verbose writer. It'll give you great historical background if you're writing in that era, right? Shannon says August for the next readathon. Ha ha. I mean, what is in August? August is the Latinx reading because it's the last 2 weeks of August into September. So I could try for that. I've seen a bunch of announcements about Garb-August, which is garbage books. I haven't watched them because I don't know. I don't. Do I have? I have garbage books. I don't know. It just seems like a questionable name. I don't know if anyone else has looked into this and thinks it's better than my impression. Let me know. But yeah, Jenna says that would be a good one for the start of the school year, August. Yeah, back to school readathon. Books with the school as a setting can finally dive into all those Fantasy Academy series that seem to be popular. I mean, Sandy Golston is the dark academia king. Who would like those? It's not really my jam. When I see something set in a boarding school, I'm like, sorry if that's your book, but that's not my vibe. Yeah, MGYA. Yeah. And speaking of MG, look who walked in the door. Barrett Laurie, heading to therapy, wanted to drop a like and say hello. Thank you, Barrett. Hope you have a good session. I don't know if Briley's with you, but, comfort you with not apples, but bullies. Nick says this is completely irrelevant, but I thought everyone may enjoy. Cat got a bit stuck trying to roll over, and he looked at me like, why did you do this? I helped him, but I laughed until I cried. Can relate. I take so many pictures of my cat, and I only share 1 in 10 on Instagram. So thank you, Nick. That was delightful. Hope it goes well for you, Barrett. If anything counts as writing, therapy does. Good point. Enjoy therapy. Have a great session. Oh, high and prayers go with you, Barrett. Yeah. If you don't know, now you know. Barrett just put out a great Mental Health Awareness Month themed video yesterday, and I encourage you to go see it. Barrett Laurie is easy to find, even if you can't hit the go-to channel if you've got a wrench on my channel. Speaking of which, oh, it's 9:45. Okay, let me go to the sprint and then do some things. I still have plenty of tea. Hope you guys are all set for your sprint. Continue as before. Happy reading or anything else you're working on. Let's go for 25 and tell me your answer to the best historical detail, random, that you've found so far for May of the Moderns. course, it's the longest minute. Here we go. Okay, it's 10 minutes after. I timed that perfectly. So let's catch up on the chat. How did you do in that sprint? I put music on. I hope it wasn't too annoying. I used the StreamYard Acoustic Cinematic, which is the first choice. I hope it didn't bug Shannon too much. Can't remember if Shannon doesn't like music or doesn't like music with words. Either way. Her answer for the historical detail, which for me was the marbles and not without laughter, was an unpainted piano box, which served as the roosting house. I liked that. Like the chickens are in the little cardboard box that used to house a piano. That was very great imagery. And the mailman's whistle blew. The carrier handed Sandy a letter. So does this mean there are no mailboxes that you hand deliver mail? Yeah, I don't know why they would have to blow a whistle. I grew up in an old house that had a door with a mail slot. It's just like a metal slot you push the mail through. Seems like it's a pretty old school solution, so that could have been an, I don't know. Yeah, interesting detail. Makes you wonder. I had to take a wee break for cat scritches because I was going to pick him up, but as soon as I lean down to pick him up, he's like, no. So I got through another 14 pages. So yeah, this time in Not Without Laughter, but what was half a chapter for Norris is 2 chapters for Hughes. Part of that is writing, part of that is formatting. So I thought that was funny. And I wondered if anyone was going to be doing the May of the Moderns book tag. So I shouted this out on Tuesday when I did a double tag. I did the ones Brian had tagged me in. So Canterbury Tales and the Banned Books tag. And I was like, hey guys, I'm going to be doing a video on Wednesday next week instead of Tuesday. So I will have a chance to see if anyone does the May of the Moderns tag on Tuesday. So we'll shout you guys out if I see it pop up. Which, by the way, if you don't know, Readathon's the part of the work is like following everyone else doing the things and making sure you see if people do the things so that you can give them credit and shout them out, build them up, that kind of thing. So that's why I'm checking every morning, doing searches and stuff. So I didn't get to watch one video this morning that was May of the Moderns inspiration. I'm very excited to watch that later. Shannon says, got lunch, pet the kitties too, and read 12 pages. Excellent. Music is good. Okay, good. Katie says, no reading, but I have officially set up a Twitter and Facebook page for my channel, and I like the music personally. Nice. Yeah, it seemed pretty soft and not too annoying that it was a loop, so I might use that one going forward. Nick started working on a quick short story, got rice started for lunch, played with a very zoomy kitty cat. Oh boy. Yeah, mine's not zoomy. It was just, yeah, we're having a food negotiation, contract negotiation at the moment. But now he's sitting on the arm of the armchair, which is partially in the sun. Jenna says, ended up admin tasks and cleaning while deciding if I should cut my glossary of terms before or after book 3 launches versus if I have time to make that happen in 6 days. Cut my glossary of terms before or after book 3 launches. You mean save it until after book 3 launches as like a freebie add-on thing? Because you don't think you can fit it in the next 6 days, which, fair. That's a hard one. Emmy says, I'm embellishing my SCR. What is that? Early chapter book. Sorry, hand slipped and sent a message early. That's all right. Embellishing my early chapter book. That sounds cool. Shannon thought of doing the tag, but I don't have time with my schedule. Booking with Deborah. Just wanted to pop in and say hello. Hello, Deborah. It's evening mealtime here in the UK, so might not manage to get to the actual reading tonight. Nice. I was in Shannon's sprint earlier, and I said, I'm living that tea and digestives life. So I figure I'd repeat that for the British person in the chat because I appreciate it. Nick says, LOL, mine normally isn't zoomy because he's an older cat, but when he gets to zooms, it's pretty fun. Yeah. It's like some time of day where it's like switch flipped. Jenna says, no, possibly removing the invented language from my books completely and debating if I have time to do it before or after launch for book 3 alone. Oh my goodness. Huh. But then the series wouldn't be matching. I'd say wait until do it after. We got a lot of stuff going on. Excellent. Anyone else have a best historical detail found? That's the question from the last sprint. Oh, and here was the thing that I was excited about doing on today's sprints, besides the questions during the sprints. And was Deborah one of them? No, okay. So I have 2 places, maybe more, where people are putting down what they're reading for May of the Moderns. One is a spreadsheet in Google Docs, and one is the Storygraph Challenge. And then there's also like people posting on Instagram, which I also do roundups of in my Instagram stories. So I put it together when someone said that they had been abandoned and their buddy read on the spreadsheet. I was like, oh, I should check in to see if people have connected and are like getting in touch with the people who they're reading with to see if it wasn't like a complete fail. So I looked at all the places and sort of did like matchmaking, because there's people who are reading the same books but don't know that someone else is reading it alongside. So in case, I'll reach out and like ping those people on the different platforms. But so Carady13 on IG and me, we're both reading All Passion Spent this month, and I have already read it and loved it. And I think she's still working on it, but I'm going to get in touch with her to see if, I don't know, she wanted to discuss it. Carady13 and Ben Pick are both reading Enchanted April, and I read this last year. So Ben, I think, is doing the show on that Monday night. So I mentioned that I might be interested in popping on, if that would make it like easier to have a format of discussion about the book live. So that might happen, and we'll get in touch with Carody. And I think it's Carol, but it's C-A, and then her last name starts with an R, and I forget what it is at the moment, but she's got a fun account on Instagram. So let me pop that in the chat. Carody 13 on Insta. In case you want to check it out, see what she's reading. Yeah, next thing, that's a huge change, isn't it? Gosh, maybe after? We're trying to save your mental health, Jenna. Okay, so, oh, it is Deborah. So Booking with Deborah and Leo Bancroft are both reading Their Eyes Were Watching God. So I think Deborah is just on the Instagram and Leo is just posting on the spreadsheet. But if you guys see this and want to like get in touch and maybe do a discussion, that would be pretty fun. Their Eyes Were Watching God is a great book to discuss with another person. So you could do that offline or online. But just wanted to connect you guys. And then the last one is for Beth Ann Berniga Sokolar, paging Beth Ann. She's reading Strong Poison by Dorothy Sayers, according to the spreadsheet, and Alice and the Giant Bookshelf, I think, posted about that on Instagram. So if you guys are interested, like, talk amongst yourselves. Yeah. So there you go. Those are the ones that I found. There might be more. But I encourage people, if you are participating in May of the Moderns and here for some reason, and I haven't gotten in touch with you because there's like too many threads to track, check out the spreadsheet to see if your book is on there. Check out Instagram under the hashtag May of the Moderns tag to see. There's not very many posts, so it should be pretty easy to scan and see if someone has your book. And there's not much info on Twitter yet. It's just Instagram and YouTube. So, and the Google Doc and Storygraph. So if you're on Storygraph, okay, there's a lot. I'm sorry. If you're on Storygraph, you can go to the challenge, May of the Moderns, and look at the different prompts and see the books that were added to those prompts and see if yours is in there. There's about 45 books that have been added, which is great. And thanks to anyone who has done that. I updated mine. My DNF. I didn't talk about my DNF. Okay, I'm going to revisit that. My DNF is on the Storygraph challenge. It's Ismail Chugtai. So that book, Quit India, that I had from a used bookstore nearby. I thought it was a great find. I read the 2 stories that were pre-1945, and maybe I'll continue with the book later, but I just didn't connect with them. They were very direct about addressing the difference between the Muslim and Hindu religions clashes with kids at a young age. And I was like, they're making fun of it and joking around it. But then the next story, when they were a little older, was like, there was violence going on in the street about it. And then it still had a happy ending. I'm just not connecting where the emotion should be in the pieces or the sympathy, So I DNF'd, and according to Storygraph, that means that I didn't read it. So I had to pick a new book for that End of Empire and translation prompt, which is fine because I've got loads. So the End of Empire one, the book set in imperial possession of the time. I'm reading Zora Neale Hurston's Tell My Horse because this is her anthropological exploration of the West Indies, which were under British control at that point. And it's been really, really good. I'm very excited about that. So, and as I told Beth Ann and Shannon, reading these together is kind of a revelation because they're writers that were contemporary that worked together and then like didn't work together anymore because one went off in one direction and I was not okay with the other. So maybe I should research what the falling out was because I don't know the details. Yep. Okay, so that is the person who is also reading Enchanted April, in case, and I can start a conversation if you want to talk to both. Ben said, I'm happy to host anyone who's read Enchanted April. Sweet. And then Jenna says, I guess part of me wonders how fast I can get through it with the aid of find and replace functions. And mental health, what's that? Yes, I understand. Yeah, you don't need more on your plate. And sometimes, like, stepping outside your point of view helps you realize that. Nick says, oh, that's one of my favorite books of all time. Haven't read it in years. Oh, which one? The Langston Hughes or the Zora Neale Hurston? That's a little bit more obscure. So probably the Langston Hughes, yeah. Jenna says, hashtag Queen of Books You've Never Heard Of is striking up some epic title mentions here. Yes, thank you. It's my hashtag there on the channel. I include it in every episode. And Nick says, I think it could be done, but I'd be worried about potential misses with like plurals or things like that. But do it what you're comfortable with. Yeah. Support you, Jenna. Therein lies the rub. Yeah. It's like a nightmare alone, but you can do it. Yes. Choose wisely, young Jedi. Mia says, done chatting with mom. Sure, I missed a lot. You did, but it's important. So go back during the non-sprint points and like listen to the chat because I think it would be, I think there's some good stuff in there, but I may be biased. So yeah, so we covered the best historical detail, I think as much as we could. And I went over the tag for the readathon, if anyone wants to do that next Tuesday for Tag Tuesday. And then I mentioned the people who have matches, who are like reading the book, but don't know that someone else is reading the same book, who might want to coordinate for a discussion. Might be fun. You never know till you try it. So yeah, that's the fun recap. Thank you, Nia. Chatting with mom is good. That is good. We have time for another longish chat. Why don't we do, see, I'm influenced by the productivity pyramid wars. Let's do 20 minutes and like slide down easy. We can have some chatting time at the end. Let me fix my banner. Let's start at 25. Go till 25. I'm not an overachiever. Just welcoming people to like cruise, right? Cruise, right? Cruise, sprints. It's not really sprint, is it? It's not really sprint energy. So final question. An author you want to read more of now because May of the Moderns introduced you to a new name. Elizabeth Gooch. Yeah, maybe. So let's start on the 25, and I'll put some different music on, see if you like it. Mute myself and see you in 20. Happy reading, or whatever else. And I'll try to silently whisper Shannon. I went over a minute, and then I had to do hair cat here because I held him up for a second, but he did not want to be there. So we're back for a few minutes to chat before we finish for the day. Let's catch up on the comments. Okay, so I popped the link to that Liesel Sambury revision planning video that I mentioned. I was in cat food contract negotiations. I'm just being silly. Deborah says, yes, Their Eyes Were Watching God is one of my books. I've actually finished listening to it on audiobook. I don't use Instagram, so just add it on this spreadsheet. And I think it is on the spreadsheet already. Leo put his name next to it. And I explained at the beginning how it's supposed to work is that if you see a book and someone's name is next to it, then you can put your name next to theirs on the same row of the spreadsheet. And that means that you could read it together. So at this late date, you could still discuss it after the fact, but you don't want to duplicate entry on there. And I was reading Tell My Horse, the Zora book. So my third book for the third sprint. I was enjoying what she was writing. Jenna says, I saw some authors from Japan and other Asian countries on the list, so they're likely going to be included as part of some period reference work for an upcoming series. That is very intriguing. Deborah mentioned she's really looking forward to the discussion. Unlocked Booktition is going to have about Their Eyes Were Watching God. Yes. So she does a series called Black Classics, and for this month, coincidentally, she's doing one that is falling in the May of the Moderns time frame, so I'm very excited. I'll definitely be in the chat. I don't know, I might be on the screen. Who knows? Who knows? But yeah, so June 6th in the evening, I put the link up there and then forgot to check the time. I think it's 5 p.m. Pacific for me, which is very late for Britain. But yeah, check the time for that. I put a quote in here about the following the assassination of the Haitian president in July of 1915, President Woodrow Wilson sent the United States Marines into Haiti to restore order and maintain political and economic stability in the Caribbean, which continued into 1944. There's so much I don't know about the history of the area, so that was interesting. He's discussing Haiti's political future. So again, only half a chapter in, which, funnily enough, is 14 pages. I read 14 pages each 20 minutes because I did other things, I guess. And I just said that consistency is not my thing, but apparently reading consistency is. Or I'm just, trying to prove the rule with an exception. I don't know. Shannon says 20 pages read. Woohoo. Jenna says phone call with mother-in-law taken care of. Woohoo. Nick says nearly finished the short story. I'm about to make some tuna to go with this rice and maybe a vegetable. Sounds good. I actually went to a Korean fried chicken place yesterday, and I've got a inari. Is that what it's called? With spicy tuna in it. So I'm excited for that for lunch, which is happening in a little bit. Jim's books reading and stuff. Happened on by. He's reading East of Eden, or more strictly, rereading. Nice. Getting a reread and a May of the Modern. Actually, can't remember if that's May of the Moderns. But yeah, excellent. Nice to see you. Evie says, got some video planning done, requesting a couple of books from NetGalley. Clearly a productivity kind of morning. Sweet. Kicking ass and taking names. Melissa's here from Fully Booked. She's here just for the last bit of chat. If you want to keep sprinting, check out Devin Cutting's Authortube related sprints if you like. But yeah, I'm just wrapping up here and asking any author that you've read from May of the Moderns that now you want to read more of. I will just mention that last year when I read Their Eyes Were Watching God, Donna Sinclair and I loved it so much. Donna went on to read a bunch of her books, and I did not, but I've been waiting because I'm trying to be efficient. So I'm reading this one that I found at Backstory Books and really enjoying it. So I just had a delayed response to that question a year later. Okay. So yeah, I figured it was in the 50s. Yep. But a good book. Marilyn! Aloha. Jet lag is helping me catch you finally. Marilyn Maya Mendoza just returned jet setting in Paris. I loved the videos that you have put together from there. Excited for a few more. Jen says, thanks for the reading spreads. Huge hugs to dedicated Devon. Yep. And Melissa says, still early days reading A Passage to India, but definitely want to read more Forster. Yeah. I've read, I think, 3. But the adaptations are so good and so present, I guess, in pop culture or in my version of watching movies and shows that I can't remember if I've read the book for Howard's End and Room with a View. I know I have like a 3-book sort of collection in one book, and I've read 1 in there. So I can't remember if it's Room with a View or Howard's End, or definitely not Where Angels Fear to Tread, because I definitely have not read that or seen it. So yeah, interesting stuff. And it says, thanks for hosting. Looking forward to tomorrow's stream. Yay! So I think we're done with the last question. I'll pop this up. Thanks for joining. Check out May of the Moderns on Storygraph. And I always forget to do this one. Like, comment, subscribe. Thanks for stopping by to catch up. Say hello. Tell me what you're reading. Tell me what you're thinking about it. And yeah, hope you have a lovely weekend. We have another sprint tomorrow, 9 to 11. If anyone cares to join, I will have different questions. If you're curious if anyone else is reading the book you are reading, you should check Instagram under the hashtag and the spreadsheet under the list of books, and the Storygraph challenge under the books added to the prompts. Or you can just rewind for the ones that I caught that I saw people reading the same books that didn't know each other. So I was trying to like connect to see if you wanted to. And I will get in touch with Ben and that Instagrammer I mentioned, Carity13, see if we wanted to, I don't know, have a get down. Okay. Yay. So we're hoping everyone has a great weekend. 9 to 11 tomorrow. And don't forget, Sundays are the little lectures / interviews for the prompts for the readathon. Jen says Jenna has writing sprints later today at 4 p.m., but she canceled. So stay tuned for next weekend on Jenna's channel. And Nick, goal is to be here tomorrow morning, give or take sleeping in. Totally allowed. Totally allowed. Yeah, Jenna's got life drama, which is why we're sending her all the love. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, the like, comment, subscribe is followed by check out my historical novels, because if you don't know, I do this readathon for May of the Moderns, but my books are slightly before, during the Victorian period, set in 1820s, 1830s, Western Scotland, and sort of like family drama, immigration, social movements, women fighting for their own, pioneer stories, all those things. So if you're interested, check out my channel and click the links below. I think I include them. I think I remember to include them with every description. So yeah, that's all I got for today. Do your best work. Go forth and conquer. And I'll see you guys again soon. Thanks so much for listening and joining in.